Thanks for choosing RTV News. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kigali, Rwanda. Now, as we begin this edition, let us inform you that while in Egypt, President Paul Kagame held talks with President Dr. William Ruto of Kenya ahead of COP27. The two leaders discussed the continued positive and fruitful bilateral relations between Kenya and Rwanda. President Kagame, who is Commonwealth Chair in office, also met with Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland. The Secretary General briefed the President on the progress made on the goals set by the Commonwealth countries during CHOGM hosted here in Kigali earlier this year. The Rwandan head of state also met with Mo Ibrahim, chair and founder of the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, for a discussion on continental and global affairs. Now, moving on, young people to engage in politics say that they are eager to find out what the RPF Leadership Academy will offer them. We learn more from Serge Inhore.
Young people in Rwanda are eager to live up to expectations, but point out that they need to be properly equipped to do so.
Knowing that vision will allow us to continue where they left off, and acquiring that knowledge will give them confidence that the generation next of leaders will be able to deliver after they are gone. We must be willing to learn of this country's history and work hard for the sake of our country's continued development based on the policies and vision that the country has. They were passionate about what they were doing and fully engaged in it. So I believe by engaging myself in politics and properly equipping myself at the same time, I will be able to follow their example.
The decision by the RPF in Inkotanyi to establish a leadership academy is one that stems from the party's roots. In any case, when the RPF in Inkotanyi party was first born, it had its own leadership academy where cadres were trained. They all went through that school, learning proper politics, those of the country and the world in general. And they were also given philosophy lessons that helped them to understand the origins of different policies and that they all had reasons to exist. Others agree that such an academy is necessary for the country's continued development.
Kugira ngo iyo vision izabe achieved ku buryo
For that vision to be achieved in the way the country wants, there must be a lot of effort in creating leaders that have the sort of values that the country requires, the kind of values that allow the RPF party to help the country to achieve so much. It is important that young people possess those values of patriotism, serving the people, fighting injustice and ensuring that people unite. Indeed, veteran politicians note that such a school would help the country to avoid many bumps down the road. The purpose of such a school would be preventive in nature. When a person is taught and understands the reason behind the policies of the RPF, why we serve the general public, accept such policies, why they were introduced and the results they bring, which they will be shown, the achievements of the young people of the past thanks to those policies, the tools required and how to use them in the community setting. It helps such a person down the road for those who listen. Young people in Rwanda today are constantly reminded that it takes teamwork and individual sacrifice to get things done, a tangible lesson that was taught by the young people who achieved so much many years ago.
Now, in more news, Rwandans say they are proud of the role of media professionals in advancing their sector. However, some of the journalists have noted that they are still grappling with the challenge of accessing useful information from some of the leaders. More in this report.
When interacting with Rwandans, they say access to information is not a challenge because they're able to follow discussions using different media platforms, including mediums like radio, television, social media, and more.
The media opens people's minds and it also helps with relaxation. Some people listen to it and they are able to decompress.
akenshi nk'iyo risuye abaturage rikumva ibitekerezo byabo.
They often visit the people to listen to their views, good or bad, to ascertain whether or not they need to advocate for their obstacles, plus to help facilitate their development to ensure they lead better lives. So we love the media because it speaks to us and contributes to the building of the country.
kuko riratuvuganira rikavuga byinshi byiza kandi byubaka igihugu.
Media professionals in Rwanda are proud of their contribution to the sector. However, they have noted that there are leaders who still don't comprehend the importance of the media.
I
would say the role of the media to the well-being of the people is incomparable. I base this on how journalists use stories to effect change. For example, we can craft a story highlighting the lack of access to water in a particular place. When they get the water, they are able to thrive and not struggle with related challenges. And if we publish a story saying that there's a place that lacks access to electricity, when they're able to get the electricity, they're able to reap the benefits like trading and improving their lives. According to the head of the department responsible for the coordination of activities of the media sector in the management of Rwanda Governance Board, those who disseminate information should familiarize themselves with the law.
It is not mandatory for people to feel that the role of the media is to help them to address their needs, especially leaders, like telling them about places where children are unwell. There are people who are sick with measles. You go there and find out because the leader is a person who leads other people. Sometimes things may go wrong without being noticed. It would be good for leaders to realize that journalists are partners, and there is a step being taken today for you to follow the news and hear from leaders.
In Rwanda, there are 38 radio stations, 20 television stations, and more than 80 media outlets. November 7th is Africa Day of Information. And the theme this year is the role of the media in promoting informed citizen participation in the digital era in Africa. The objective of celebrating the Africa Day of Information is to revitalize the role of African media in the continent's transformation and development in light of the Agenda 2063.
About 200 judges and court registrars from the East African community will gather in Rwanda starting Monday for a 4-day conference aimed at reviewing the capacity and efficiency in mediating emerging cross-border issues. Oliver Ntete has the very latest.
In this conference, they closely review crimes committed in cross-border trade in these countries that are part of the East African community, crimes committed in relations between countries, and those that are done through the use of technology in business. Kadigwa Gashongore Lorien, a judge at the High Court and president of the Association of Judges and Courts Registrar in Rwanda, explains more on the benefits of such conferences.
Let's say, for example, you find that the laws of Rwanda were established, and this may be inspirational to other countries such as Kenya or Uganda. And they may say that these people are capable of adjudicating cross-border issues because of establishing good and improved laws. Secondly, there are judges, for example, in Kenya, in addition to having studied law, you find that they may also have studied about technology and they are experienced. And they have what we call exposure, who may have also worked in other international courts. All that experience is beneficial to all of us. That is why one country can learn from another. Judges from Rwanda may learn from various cases resolved in Kenya or Tanzania.
In a 4-day conference, which will bring together more than 200 judges and court registrars, there is also a plan to sign an agreement called the East African Magistrates and Judges Association in gender policy that will put into consideration women that are to be transferred to other workplaces and to keep in consideration judges who might not deliver proper justice due to emotional issues.
atuye nk'ikigali afite abana.
Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a mother and your family lives in Kigali, and our profession is done in every place across the country. So if there is a need to shift you to another workplace in Musanze or Nyagatare, in that gender policy, we will consider their families if the decision won't affect their families because she is a mother and she's better at taking care of the kids than her husband. Another example is that as we judges may be led by emotions while conducting our duties, for example, while presiding over cases of violence which require close attention, we are called to be neutral during a court case. For example, if I am a divorced judge and I am in charge of resolving a divorce case, I may not deliver justice due to emotional issues. That gender policy will assist in practicing our professions to keep the neutrality that we are advised to have while conducting our work.
Iyo policy izajya idufasha kugira ngo tuzihagararemo neza ku buryo ya neutrality yacu tugerageza kuyibungabunga.
The East African Judges and Magistrates Association initiated its activities in 2001. Rwanda joined in 2011 and will be hosting this meeting for the third time. This conference was also previously hosted in Rwanda in 2012 and in 2017. The East African Judges and Magistrates Association was also led by a Rwandan judge 2 years ago. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive. Now moving on to health matters. Some of the patients suffering from non-communicable diseases, including diabetes, say that due to long-term physical exercises, they've been able to control their conditions. This was reiterated on Sunday while the African Association of Mountain Hikers joined Rwanda to celebrate 25 years since the establishment of the Kigali Walking Club. Olive Ntete once more.
Rudakengwa Aniset is a 63-year-old man. He started exercising in 2019 after he was diagnosed with diabetes. From that time until now, he has been exercising and his life has improved, and he says that it has been beneficial to him.
My condition is currently good. It doesn't even reach 200 millimeters of mercury. The measurement is always between 100 and 120, and sometimes even less. Yes, I am 63 years old. I don't even look my age.
On Sunday, about 20 African countries that are members of the African Mountain Hiking Sport Association joined the Kigali Walking Club in celebrating 25 years since it started this initiative. Some of the members of this club say that exercising has become a solution in the fight against non-communicable diseases, including those that affect people in the old age.
This exercise of walking is like medicine. They always give us examples of people with diabetes or with heart conditions who started exercising a bit earlier at an early age and they are now in good condition. It is like a cure, and that is why I urge people to practice hiking.
The representative of a group of mountain hikers in Burundi, Barende Kevenerand, appreciated the initiative of Rwanda of establishing and promoting the Car-Free Day to promote sports.
We love this kind of sport. It includes various people and they always look happy. People who are young, those who are old, women and men. It is a very good initiative. We also have this kind of sport in our country, but we usually do it by hiking up mountains or going up country. We do not usually do it on good roads like this because of the vehicles in the roads, and that's why we hike or do it elsewhere around people.
The Minister of Sports, Munyagajoror Mimosa, urged various institutions to participate more in physical exercises because it is healthy and beneficial to people. Sports is providing a good image to the country, and this is a good time to teach people, not only Rwandans, but also other people from the international community. It is a good time to showcase how a city and the whole country looks. This also sets a good example that whenever it may be needed to stop vehicles for environmental protection reasons, Rwandans would cooperate. Usually, the city of Kigali organizes the Car-Free Day, a day for sports, twice a month. And some of the roads of the city are closed to cars, motorcycles, to ensure the safety of those participating in sports. Olive Nete, RTV News.
We hope we earned the privilege of your time. Thanks for watching. I am Isabel Masozera. Do stay with RTV.